is a small second-hand stuff shop, a thrift store, which also sells organic food. And it uses time currency, which means when you are very poor, you don't have money, you do some service for the community in exchange for time currency, and you can use this time currency to exchange for food and other things, or other services. So in a very poor, old people's community, this is a very interesting project going on there. And of course, you are going to the cultural tour, which is actually offered by people in the neighborhood who train up themselves to become very knowledgeable cultural tour guides. So, and they want to have artists, community artists, living with the community and creating their work that is interactive with what's going on in the community. And they have some experiments with this before. And this street is a very lively street. I just came back from less than 2 weeks ago at the Mid-Autumn Festival. I was there actually hanging out with them for the Mid-Autumn Festival, street festival at the time. And there are a lot of traditional craft trades, skilled craftspeople in the community. Some of them are retired, some not. And they have already organized themselves into a co-op to actually, they can take orders to do certain things and get work, get business, and at the same time they will give workshops teaching young people and other people in the community how to do these traditional crafts. And every Sunday they want the place to be blocked and become a people's a promenade for a section of the day to have an open organic farmers market and cultural fair. And the Wan Chai district wants an urban social movement to educate the government, convince the government, and push the government to change the rules and allow this to happen. So they need to learn how to deal with the town planning board, how to deal with the urban renewal authority, how to deal with the development bureau, and we can study a lot of these documents that they have created to fighting with the government here and there. But if you want to do a study on this, come to me. And this is one of those songs they've written for the movement. And this is a design for one action. Right? The URA is this voodoo master who controls the zombie blue house, with nobody living in it. So they want a living blue house. They don't want a blue house like this. Go see blue house. If it is going to be just this museum and tea house, it's going to be a vampire, right? Not vampire. What do you call it? Go see zombie blue house. So they actually have this action, right? In the streets. Making people understand their ideas. Now, very quickly, a few more ideas to bear in mind when you go to the cultural tour, and it will be relevant not only to Wan Chai and Blue House, but a lot of places in Hong Kong. One thing is what you see opposite Blue House is this. This is called Fort Senate, a new development, upper middle class condominium. As you see, it is a gated community. Other people cannot go in. It has a garden on the fourth floor, private access, and these people doesn't want to walk on the 80-year-old street market level and make their pretty shoes dirty. So their Gucci shoes would walk through this bridge right to the car park, so they don't have to even, they don't have to get in touch with this old community to live there and go out and come back. They come back to their car park, walk through this bridge, and go to their condominium. So it is a gated community. It's like a forbidden city that excludes people. And this is what some kind of development, Robert Moses development, a very top-down imposition of this kind of real estate development that increases the cost of the whole community around it. see, gentrification is the kind of urban planning that creates a situation where the living costs, housing costs, everything becomes suddenly very high. So traditional craft-based industries are actually very good at adapting to all the ups and downs of the Hong Kong economy, and they're still here, very prosperous. And the only thing that kills them is this kind of sudden gentrification that raises, for example, the rent of their shops so much that they have to close doors. So this is one thing urban redevelopment does if you don't do it well. And it's a killing of the whole community, driving everybody out through gentrification. This is one thing you need to consider. This is a picture the academic people helped me take. I pretend to want to buy a unit in the Senate and pretend to buy so he can come in and take photos for me. And you see, this is the Bauhaus market. This is bluehouse. And if I'm going there, like the top floor from here. And I actually try to scare the real estate developer by saying, if you tear down this historical, interesting Bauhaus market and build, stage 3 of your real estate project, very tall, then I won't even have the view anymore, right? In front of me, if you build a tall building in front of that, why should I buy? If I'm a wise consumer, I would refuse to buy these things, right? Because I would be blocked very soon by your new development. I won't have this view. So if you are sensible, you won't build that stage 3 there, because all the price of stage 1 and stage 2 will depreciate. So I try to scare them away from doing it. And speaking English and all that, sounding very, very rich.
Sounding.
Yeah, I'm considering like the top 3-4 floors, 6 units, and it worked. And China Estates is now willing, China Estates is now willing to discuss about land swap that will give the government back that Bauhaus market, and government give them another plot of land to develop, because they understood what I was saying. These things I think you should look for. Another issue is how public space is destroyed. And this is very simple idea. If you read the very short article, it's aggression, right? So many security guards, over-managed buildings, and you need to have PIN numbers for everything to access everything. This imposed from above, it elicits aggression, which leads to further tightening of control, leading to a lack of commitment and exaggerated fear of other people, fear of chaos, and it is a vicious cycle of control and paranoia. And we would ask ourselves, why do we want to be policed day and night? So many surveillance cameras, are we crazy? Why city dwellers prefer more and more control? Now, the suppressive system of the established order is geared to avoid conflict, to protect individuals from incursions of other members of the community without the individual being involved in the process. Therefore, you will negotiate with people how acceptable mutual behavior is like, and then you follow the communal rule. Now you don't want to directly communicate and negotiate with people how we're going to use space in our community. You employ a management company with many security guards to exercise control rules. So it's more like a prison, right? Get the prison guards to control everybody. I don't want to deal with each other. I'll have the security guard to apply rules to everyone. It's more like a school. And the person in the school who does that is 很懂局长, right? The person everybody hates most. So this is the kind of mentality that we have adopted. We promote fear of chaos and the unexpected, and thus people prefer even more impersonal, objective regulations against personal communication and involvement